It's interesting here this morning at MIPIM that we had protesters outside making, making a lot of noise about the industry and complaining about the property industry, and a huge amount of that anger that they're feeling is actually caused by the housing problem. The key difference between London and the provinces in poverty terms is housing costs, which are driving people who would otherwise be living perfectly comfortable lives into a form of poverty, a sort of housing poverty, if you like, and that is making them angry. And I think that is something that we need to take very seriously, and it would be wrong for any of us to dismiss this kind of protest as simply being a bunch of odd anti-capitalist extremists who don't really represent, who don't really have an electorate. What you've actually got is a huge swathe of the London working population who actually sympathise with those views, who don't feel that London is actually catering for them, who don't feel that they're actually getting a fair deal from London now. And as I say, most of that sense of unfairness, that sense of inequality actually revolves around housing and their inability to access good quality housing at an affordable cost. So we know that home ownership in central London is beyond the pocket of Mr. Average. But we do, I think, have an obligation to make sure that we're providing a viable rental alternative for them. And we've reached a point now in London where, yes, home ownership is beyond the pocket of Mr. Average, shared ownership is beyond the pocket of Mr. Average, and market rent is actually beyond the pocket of Mr. Average. So what is he, she actually, supposed to do to address this? Conventional solution has been to move a bit further out of town, give up on zones 3 and 4 and go to zones 5 and 6. But actually, if you plot the heat map now and actually look at the ripple effect and add the travel costs to the rental costs and the housing costs, we are very soon going to reach the same position that Oxford is in. The solution is obviously we need more houses. And given the scarcity of land and given the fact that we are never simply going to be able to address the problem simply on the supply side, we need to allocate land for rented housing at all sorts of levels, not simply for social rent. I think we all agree that the old-fashioned model of social rent is probably out of date now. But we need to have affordable, good quality housing that's available to people at rents that reflect the incomes that they're actually earning. And we think, we and others are beginning to develop models, flexible rent models and personalised rent models that actually can deliver that. And they can deliver it without grant and without subsidy, provided we can actually have access to the land in the first place.